another play. This was written in, I believe, 1998. And then I revised it in 2013, but I never sent it out. It's a play in 2 acts, so I'll do each scene at a time and then upload each scene into... it's a play in 2 acts, so in each act has... first act has 5 scenes, second act has 4 scenes, so it'll be a total of 9 scenes that I'll be uploading. This play is called Yours Truly. A play in 2 acts. The players are Eddie, mob frontman in his 20s, Frankie, mob boss in his 50s, Polly, Eddie's friend and associate in the 20s, Mickey, Laura's girlfriend in the 20s, Laura, career-minded in the 20s, Joe, hitman in his 40s, roles double accordingly, Man, Laura's former employer in the 40s, played by Frankie, Donald's, Laura's former co-worker in the 30s, played by Joe. Scene breakdown is Act 1, Scene 1, Cafe, Scene 2, Laura's condo and cafe, Scene 3, Cafe, Scene 4, Laura's condo, Scene 5, Cafe. Act 2, Scene 1, Laura's condo, Scene 2, Laura's condo, Scene 3, Cafe, Scene 4, Laura's condo. The time is in Act 1, Scene 1 is present, Scene 2 later that same night, Scene 3 a few nights later, Scene 4 1 hour later, Scene 5 following night. Act 2, Scene 1 1 week later, Scene 2 following morning, Scene 3 a few nights later, Scene 4 2 weeks later. Once again, it's a cold reading, and I am no actor, so I'm just going to read it, pretty much, not really act it. Act 1, Scene 1, setting, Cafe, West, Brooklyn. At rise, night, present. As the lights fade up, we hear Frank Sinatra singing Summer Wind into I've Got You Under My Skin on the jukebox as we see Eddie, Frankie, and Paulie seated around a table. Frankie plays solitaire as Eddie addresses Paulie. Paulie. So what else should I know, Eddie? Nothing really else, Paulie, except you're a fucking asshole. Why am I a fucking asshole, Frankie? It's all set. What more of a rundown do you need? We're worried. About what? About you. What's there to worry about? 10 weeks, the house is ours. 50 million, Paulie. Right. What 50? Someone fucked up on the figure. Last I heard, 5. Someone misplaced the 0. Maybe you. Me? Maybe you don't want us to have this house. What's he talking about, Paulie? Talk to me, not him. You've been talking to Paulie's left ear all night. I'm sick with hearing half the shit out is right. I got 20 houses in 6 years. This house I want this house. Frankie heard. That is, we heard. You heard. Right, I heard you're getting a little too soft. Too soft? I like to hear that. Soft where? Soft in the wrong place. Hey, what's going on here? I told you guys yesterday. It's set. We move it in 10 weeks. 6 from yesterday. They bought it. Or not. Damn ace of spades. Frankie reshuffles. Gonna tell us about her? Tell you about who? This fucking bimbo tramp you're mixing yourself in with. I am? Don't. You're talking to me now. I'm not, Frankie. Don't what? Frankie slams the deck on the table. The cards go flying all over. Paulie gathers the cards as Frankie says, you lied to them. Your $50 million contract and you're screwing around with some broad. You're to set her up, tease her, toy with her, fuck her, do whatever you do with her. I don't care what you do. But don't get mixed up. You move on after this house. Like all the others. Don't make it a home. If so, Paulie here takes over. Got it? Oh, come on, Frankie. I'm serious about this fucking broad. You hear me, Eddie? Don't play fucking dumb with me. I set you up, right? Got you in, gave you the reference. Now you get my men in place through her. Like you always have, or else I'll pull you from the job. You can't pull me from this job. I work this house, Frankie. This house is mine. I got management working for me. I got an edge my own way. I got them already nervous. Right a bit of fear. Fucking labor department's bound to breathe down the throat. Hours, wages, breaks. You can't pull me. I'm not saying I'm pulling you now. All I'm saying is I'm not going to lose a $50 million contract yearly basis because you got something for some hotshot waitress, captain, whatever, supervisor, manager, receptionist. Get my applicants in. Then you go work the big house. You've had your mind set on the Marriott chain for 5 years now, right, Eddie? Yeah, you're almost ready. Polly sits. So, set up my cards, Polly. Polly sets out the card solitaire. I'll get you the best press coverage. You'll go international. Talk about woman, Eddie. Anyone, she's yours. But you can't do it without my word. Now, how many you need? 2 bars, 2 dish, 1 pot, 1 prep. 3 waiters, 2 waitresses. Most will send in as temps. I'll arrange that. I know O'Connor. He'll pull back upon request. Any more? 1 back. I want you to set this thing right. I am. I mean it, Eddie. I don't give a shit if you like this broad. This is business. We're doing business here, Eddie. I want that house. 2 years ago, I lost this house because Rudy got jerked around by the son-in-law. He's slick. I've got him. All yours, Frankie. Yeah, thanks. We're talking about Perry, the son-in-law. He's workable. He's workable. The wife routine is working. I was afraid that reference was a bit too harsh this time. I'm best as being a racist, homosexual, drunken, pill-popping ladies' man who's too confused to know the difference between L and 18, or is it 8? Paulie snickers. You've the best cover. I know you'll handle it well, but I don't want you to blow this. I want this house. I've got a 20% kickback to come up with within 5 months. Comprende? Frankie eyes Eddie. Did you notice the fucking construction on the Brooklyn Bridge? You see that shit at 6? Somebody's got to do something. Don't know what, though. I'll think it's something damn City Hall contract stuff shit. Like they know any better. Fucking cons, you ask me. You know Nezio dug 6 holes. Marco, only 2, and yet Nezio, somewhere in Montana, herding sheep or something. Herding sheep? What a fucking setup that is. A fucking rat bastard's herding sheep. I wish I knew the mayor. I'd set that bastard up all right. Frankie stands. Polly helps him with his coat, scarf, and hat. Frankie exits. Polly sits. Polly snaps his fingers in Eddie's face. He means it, Eddie. Who fucking cares? You should. You're crazy. Contract's big. It's not $5 million now, Eddie. You even fucked the figure. Polly takes Eddie's drink. Mine? Polly sips. Our families go back a long way, huh, Eddie? Yeah, Eddie's on back. When bullets and arson were in fashion, now we pull good jobs, clean jobs. We never rub anyone out. We walk into a house saying to ourselves, this house is now mine. We make everyone a friend, flirt with every fucking town. It'd take me 1,000 hours to tell you how about I fucked every manager. I was good. I still got it. We still got it. 2 crazy fucks. Only if they knew. Do you know I figure we made at least $1 billion for them by now? And you, last job, what was that? A government trusteeship? Yeah, that one. No one knows how you did it. I figured it'd work for him, it'll work against him. The tape recordings, yeah. Really blackmail, but who fucking cares? Damn United States Monitor pocketing more money a month for misrepresentation than the mobsters and kickbacks. That was a big job. And only he and you know. Then you expose him for all he's worth. The newspapers tore his ass wide open. He was up, he was down, we were up. By the time the vote was counted, we were in. What happens when you bash heads on a picket line? I think he's pressing the law in another state and ran him out of town no other way. Eddie shuffles the cards. I like this girl. She's a tiger, such fire between us. Frankie will kill you, Eddie. I heard about his ties. He has ties. Worse ties than yours or mine. He's fearless. So am I. You're crazy. What you got all those other girls hadn't? I'm going to marry her. Polly laughs. It's finally got to you, all your mesmerizing power and deception. You're starting to believe it. What about you? I'll never settle down. I am free to date. You had a thing for Maria 7 years ago. Don't start this shit again, Eddie. It's the truth, Paulie, just the truth. I told you she was your girl, not mine. She told me what you said. She's full of shit. I never told her I wanted her, never. Okay, so you don't. Only nearly raped her. She was a 2-bit waitress. What I need from a 2-bit shit like her, huh? You're fucking crazy, Eddie. Didn't your mother ever teach you about the crap that rolls off your tongue? Thank God she's resting in peace. And what does that supposed to mean? To see me now here with you. I never liked Maria. You always fall for the loser. That's you, not me. Someday I'm going to walk out of here with a billfold so thick that I'll never have to lay my crooked eyes on this place again. But you, Eddie, you're a fucking con. Can't be real, paranoid fuck setting everyone up. Frankie's probably right. Probably setting him up too. You really think that? You don't know how you are as a con. Always a con, finding an angle, an advantage, an angle out. Out to where? Right answer, out to where? Out to nowhere. Whatever it takes, fuck that, fuck this, fuck whoever, as long as you get what you want. I want what you want. The only thing you ever want is to be right. Well, you're wrong, and you'll stay wrong as long as Frankie says so. Eddie slams his fist on the table. I'm right this time. You hear me, Paulie? I'm right. You're full shit. Eddie grabs for Paulie's collar, but Paulie backs off. You'll never be right because you don't know what because you don't know what right is. And you do, and you and Frankie do. He's got influence. And where there's influence, there's right. I'm going to take that house without having fucked her. And if you and Frankie, the two Bezier brothers, and Max Vico don't like it, like how I run this show, you can go fuck yourselves. Because I got this chance again, and I'm not going to blow it because you said so. The Bezier brothers and Vico cut you into little pieces and feed you to the goldfish. You go your own way about this. It's their kickback, their influence. Fuck you and fuck the mob. This is my show. I set it up, I'll pull it off, and only I walk away with a pleased expression. You're going to have to lay a bullet between my eyes to stop me on this one. Right now, this is between you and I. But if Frankie asks for a rundown, then is this a threat? I care about you, you stupid fuck. I don't want you to go fucking up. You got to do this right way. Frankie's way, or else it's no way. Now, how many times do I have to repeat myself? You weak fuck. 1 second, I have to do something real quick. You don't know what strength is. You don't know how it is when I walked into that house and watch how those workers bust ass because the boss man wants a softer ride. You got cooks as dishwashers, waiters as dishmen, electricians as housemen. You got wait staff scraping dishes into slop cans while they're serving French service. You don't get a break on an 8-hour shift. Ain't no medical benefits, no vacation time, no sick time off. You got wait staff stacking chairs for $8 an hour. The only secure thing in that house of bartenders and maitre d's. No organization. French service, Paulie, you got one side of the room picking up while the bride and groom hasn't even touched their food. And if a worker speaks up, that worker's given more work. Oakwood Manor is a shithole. He pockets over $1 million a week while his greed drives everyone into the gutter. If he had his choice, he'd have one guy do all the work. You look hard at that, Paulie. You look at how those men and women break ass in a thankless, unappreciative profession who can't do a con, who can't lie themselves out, who must accept their working conditions as a way of life. We all can't be paid entertainers. You think I like the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis routine every time I walk into that house? I don't, but I believe I'm doing something right. Maybe you got your own reasons. I don't do it just for you or Frankie, but for those who can't out of fear of losing their shithole jobs. Every worker works their bums off in a part-time chicken coop. So you take your fucking bullshit and feed it to someone who hasn't been around this block. This is my house, this is my job, and this is my fucking life. And if I choose to fuck it up more than I have, then I will. She's really got a hold on you, Eddie. I never saw such a sight like this before. Just don't cross the line. Why don't you run for union president? Everyone cried to hear you ranting and raving from a sore loser who made his life shit because he's too damn lazy to make it any other way. You con your way in too, Paulie. I've worked them houses alongside you. I know how you think, how you prove. So don't give me that all alone crying in the face routine because I know how many fucks it takes for you to take a house down. I'm always 2 steps ahead. Maybe you're doing a con now. Yeah, conning some sense into you. Maybe you want to marry it. It'll look good for you next year. What next year? Rumors you want international chair. Where you hear that from? He's up in age. With Frankie's pole, you can be set for life, vice versa. I don't want no presidency of the International Union. I like my place here. I own Brooklyn, New Manhattan, Jersey City. Why go about mixing things up? Listen, Eddie, I like you. I don't want a partner to take it. If you had met her outside, then maybe. But inside, I gotta side with Frankie. It's bound to make things bad. It gets to you. Like Maria? Okay, so I liked her. I cut in. I fell for a boss's wife. It all got messy. But I listened to what Frankie told me. He said, get out. I got out. I didn't make it into a big deal. I almost ruined it all. My heart sometimes, Eddie, longs for maybe I'm not as strong as you are. I don't know. All I know is from experience. It didn't work the last time with you. Why this time? For one thing, Sophie was married. Second thing, she was 18 years older than me. And third, she was half nuts. Now, I don't mean to sound this wrong, but anyone who hooks up with you got to be a little half nuts, you know. Come on, Eddie. You kind of keep you away from you. Now, how you going to get her if you haven't gotten yourself yet? It don't make sense. Damn it, anytime I start in with this about this Maria shit, nothing makes sense. But I do know one thing, Eddie. Frankie's always on the level. Now, he knows something. He's set. He's on the inside. You can't mess with someone like him. It's not good for business or for yourself. Are you through with this tiring lecture? Because I like to get home. Right. You got to go home till your pillow and lover ass. You can talk about Sophie, but leave this one out. We could never talk about Sophie. Why the change? You're fucking me. It's a joke, right? You're working on a surprise for Frankie. Yeah, right. Now I get it. I'm not working on a surprise for Frankie. I'm being real with you, Paulie. Leave her out of this. Serious. Paulie lapsed in silence. Yeah, whatever you say, pal. I'm not your pal on this, Paulie. Comprende? Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, fuck your comprende. Fuck you, Paulie. No, you fuck. Fuck you. Eddie dives across the table, grabbing Paulie down to the floor. Don't you ever fuck me on this, Paulie. You understand the severity of its aim, and what if I do? I'll kill you. Paulie laughs. Silence. I'll kill you. Eddie throws off Paulie quietly. I'll kill you. Lights fade out. End of scene 1. Anyway. That's it for this one, and I'll do scene 2 in a second. Bye. Of yours truly, 2-act play. This is Act 1, Scene 2, setting Laura's condo at Rise later that same night. As the lights fade up, we see Mickey on the couch looking through a magazine. A glass fixture shatters off stage. Mickey, oh, you're right, Laura? Every time I give him serious thought, I drop things. I told you to forget about him. He's not worth it. Laura enters, crosses into the kitchen. He's a prick, stuck up. You said it yourself. She opens the refrigerator. I told him myself. What exactly did you say? I called him a male chauvinist. Laura takes out a pitcher of orange juice. What did he say? He smiled to himself and walked away. If you're grabbing a beer, I'll take one. Sorry, Mickey. I had a beer since last Monday. Laura pours a glass. That was a great Labor Day weekend. You see, Michael? You know how I get 2 Michelob. I'm asleep. Laura sits on a stool. I saw Michael. You can't help but notice. You think he saw me? The last time I saw, you tripped into his lap. I got a feel, too. He works out. Not surprising. I'm sorry about my car. I'll get it fixed as soon as I can. It's a walk, and hey, you don't have to explain yourself, Mickey. What are friends for? Right. Hey, let's do something fun. Like what? Let's call a guy. Pretend we're singers on the other line. I'll be Sheryl Crow, and you can be... Laura? Laura crosses to the sliding door, peers out. You can be Barbara Streisand. Come on, Laura. Speak like Barbara. Barbara. It's a full moon tonight. Wonder if she'll ever get married. I wish I had her kind of money. Is something the matter? Not really. With a stare like that, it's got to be a guy. Did Vinny call? No. He asked about you the other day. I don't remember which day. I think last Wednesday. He was at the bar, South Beach. He was wondering where you got yourself to. He still loves you, Laura. You can tell, those great big puppy brown eyes. His father's a police officer. His mother's a saint. Then he walked away. Not that I'd cut in between you, Laura. We've been friends for so many years. But if you don't, I might as well. You can have him, Mickey. Oh, I don't want him so easily. I like a little fight. Makes it sound something's really wrong. Why? You went with him for 6 years and nothing. No, Mickey, why him? Why? I don't want him. He probably got all kinds of women on the side. You know that reference I told you about? Being a racist, homosexual, drunken, pill-popping ladies' man who was too confused to know the difference between L and 18, or is it 8? Exactly. I would never trust a guy like that. Too many characteristics. My boss told me to watch him. He believes this guy wants to get the union in. Thank God you're our manager now. But that's not what concerns me. I tried everything out on him, and he just remains cool. It don't figure. I don't want to sound too whimsical, but maybe he's a con artist. Former prisoner? No, you know, a streetwise punk. I told him never to speak with me again. You did? When? I told him I know what you say behind my back, and I don't like it. Really? I said to him, you're in love with me. You're kidding. What did he say? That if he has to be quiet, it's going to get bad in here, there, at the Oakwood Manor. What do you suppose he means by that? Maybe he's trying to tell me about this union thing. Well, don't you think he'd want to keep all that quiet? I know he likes me. Do you like him? I sure could use that beer. He's a jerk. We all know he's a jerk. He is cute, though. Cute jerk. I was his first serving partner. You set me up with him, remember? I don't know, Mickey. It just don't figure. What don't figure? I don't know. But there's something there. I'm good at this. No guy's ever been able to get me where I'm at. And where are you? Cornered. I'm cornered. And only he can set me loose. Mickey says to herself, she's in trouble. Real trouble. Man trouble. Let's call Michael. I don't want Michael. You don't? I can't get involved. I just broke away and you hate men. Right. I hate men. Let them put out. On my own terms. Excuse me, I need to change my padding. Laura exits. Well, haven't forgotten the cause, have you? Mickey stares at a page. Tom Cruise. What I'd give to be stranded on an island with this nicely tanned chunk of male flesh. As Mickey rips the page out of the magazine, the lights dim. As the lights fade up on the cafe, we see Man seated at a table. Donalds enters, crosses to Man. Odd place for a business lunch. Laura enters as Donald's line trails off. Mr. Man. Laura takes a seat before the desk. Man slides a form across the desk. Come on, son, take a vape here. It'll need your signature, Donalds. Nice move. I refuse to. You must. 8 hours a day. Legs. I rights too, don't I? As far as Out of the Eye Company Limited is concerned, you must sign this resignation form. She found you staring, quite unprofessional. I've worked at this company for 8 years, yet I never saw such ravishing legs in my entire dreary working career. You must admit she snatched your eye at least once or twice. We pluck eyebrows. We don't snatch eyes, possibly on your own time. But here, Donalds, I will not allow this company to be embarrassed. We have an image to uphold it. Out of the eye, Donalds. The rules are written very clearly in the employee handbook. No sexual harassment or sexual innuendos or sexually graphic pictures nor any nervous twits that may imply that an employee has a death wish or sexual desire. If she offended you in any way, Donalds, you had a perfectly just right to have brought the issue to the firm's attention, and swift action would have resolved the dispute. Laura is your stenographer. She is paid a reasonable salary to dictate with extremely long interruptions between each word. Understand, Donalds, our policy? She has a perfectly fair, just, legal, moral, technical right to work in a free and open workplace, not subjected to dilated pupils. In other words, Donalds, even though you may have a few, well, maybe less than a few, closer to less than zero, pointless points, she's a right to wear her legs any way she damn well pleases. Okay, then, while we're on this outstanding subject matter, I have another leg to pick. Her boobs stand out a bit, well, right up into my face. And what about all those sleek red one-piece dresses? Sometimes I feel like taking charge. And let's get this straight from the beginning. When I was interviewed by her, she was explaining the sexual harassment policy, and all I could think about was there she was, there with her sexy long legs, and how I wanted to spread them wide apart and fuck the living daylights out of her. Now, I find all that highly offensive, but you don't hear me complaining. I must advise you, Donalds, I do not have the direct power to change the way in which she so happens to wiggle herself into a dress every morning when Donalds snatches up the employee handbook. Do you really expect me to decide the code in this overly stuffed guidebook that states she is forbidden to wear any and all dresses that crosses her eye as she steps out of a cool shower with dripping beads of watery, glistening warm droplets sliding down her rosy red hard nipples in the cold morning light? Must we change to satisfy a woman's aspiration? Men have rights, too. What if I come into work only in my boxer shorts and a V-neck T-shirt, with all my chest hairs grouped in an outwardly manner, with cologne made by Usher and a hard-on protruding through the slit of the shorts, like a boob stick ever so firmly up into her pink lace bra? What then? We truly have an out of an eye experience. Donald leans toward Man. We sacrificed, right? Right. Built tunnels? Yeah. Built cranes? Yeah. Missiles? Yes. Mole boring machines? I believe so. Hand grips? Okay. Skyscrapers? Absolutely. Nipple clamps? Well, wait, just. You name it, we, us. We, us men, built it. Donald stands back. What is this thing entitled equality truly mean? An upper hand, a way to hold men in place? To show us men that we are no longer in charge, that we no longer can slap the living daylights out of them? Because this is exactly what they need, a good slap, a good kick in that creamy white, ever so lovely, well-rounded tush. What I'd do to be a man for once in my life. My father was a man. His father before him was a man. They were men. We are girls. We take it every time where the sun does not shine. Must I bend over backwards so she can climb over me as she kicks every guy's face in on her way to the top? Let us be men. Let us take charge. Let us show us who's boss. Let us intimidate. Let us rule. Let them submit. Let them follow us. Let them kneel. Let them fear us. We're men, goddammit. God created man in his own image, not the other way around. Eve is from my rib, not the other way around. God is persistently spoken in terms of his or he or him, never in she or her. We are men. We need to beckon the call. Come now, Mr. Man, you must admit. Admit exactly to what, Donalds? Care to grab her hooters or pinch that fine, sweet ass of hers? Man is ready to interject, but probably the whole firm thought it at one time or other. We're men, Mr. Man. We get the job done. There are goals that are met. We think straight to the punch. There is no gossip. There is no sneaky strategizing. We are never offended by word slaps or pin-ups, and we still get the job done on time. It is a man's world, goddammit. Those whores belong in the kitchen on their backs, popping out more whores and rulers. The Rockefeller and Kennedy families turn this country inside out. But tell me, where are all those Rockefeller and Kennedy women? In bed, in the kitchen, in the day room, in the nursery. Let us bring it back to where it was a simpler time. We knew our places. Children were brought up to respect society, to honor their roles, to carry on tradition, to speak proudly of their names. Please, Mr. Man, for the sheer sake of progression, before man is extinct, between women outnumbering men and all those faggot, star-studded, pompous, colorful princesses, what will be left of man, Mr. Man? Who will we become? Who will remember us for who we truly were? Let us make a stand today, right now, and you're damn bloody well right. I'm going to stare. It's part of nature. And it's not part of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, is it 5? The firm must abide by all existing law, and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission requested I place in your full resignation by 5 o'clock this evening, or it's leaked to the press. Man leads forward. The sales, Donald. Think of the sales. You're not really afraid of them wusses. Now are you, Mr. Man? The law? Who is this law? Lobbyists, national organization of women, special interest groups, Senate committees, subcommittees, consultant firms hashing out in back rooms? Come now, Mr. Man. Let's untuck our shirt tails, unzip our flies, and take great pleasure in slapping our secretaries' asses. I've heard just about enough from you. Laura's ready to punch Donald, you pompous ignoramus, crude, thick-skinned jerk. And away with words. Laura stands up into Donald's face. I will not move forward by the dictates of men. I'll build my own building, my own goddamn skyscrapers, and my own damn empires if I choose to do so. So I stare, make a slide remark every so often. As long as we complete the project on time, isn't this what we get paid for? Your long pauses cost this firm a great deal of money. I come to work. I also find it rather comfortable to wear a dress into work. I just so happen to have a pair of legs. And as far as the law is concerned, the law is our only leverage to a fair wage. Furthermore, I have a right not to just push a vacuum, mop floors, clean dishes, and burp daddy good night. This is my choice. Now choice is law, and the law, thank God, you are not above, so either sign this paper or find yourself faced with a highly publicized lawsuit. You just don't care how you do it, do you? Legs, laws, lobbies. You just don't care, do you? As long as you're in charge, if you're not running the show from behind, you're out front. Is this it? Is what? Boobs, movements, you want me on a leash, leave me wherever, however? We want what you want. Care to part your lips? Or restrains lips? Money and power. We still pay, we still obey, always composed, must never say it wrong, you decide if the remark was offensive or not. You call the shots, you set the standard, you decide when the game is over, always in control, manipulating every situation. If your minds don't do it, your legs will. You know we're a sucker for a great pair of legs. We fall for it every time. Reason, Donald, reason. It's what separates us from those who do it when the urge arises. Let me explain something to you that probably almost certainly your mother nor a lover ever told you. A woman permits a man to touch her, to caress her, to kiss her, to even be around her. It's when a woman decides, for whatever reason, she cares less that you can consider yourself fucked. Understand, hothead? I can get under your skin a lot easier than I can get under your clothes. You're fucked, because I never permitted you to treat me the way old men treat their woman at first. And how is this, toots? Cheap. I am not your whore. Either sign that paper or find yourself in. I should sign your ass with an imprint that screams, fuck me till I spit blood. The pen. The pen, Donalds. Fuck that point. If rape were legal, you get the point all right, and you get a high heel shoe planted squarely between your balls. You're worse than a bitch, you cunt. All your legal threats. Fuck you, you bitch. I don't need them. She is close up on Donalds. I could hurt you very easily without them. Without who? Mr. Man over there? Congress, the men behind the Iron Curtain. But see, I'm too smart to tempt that big, fat, ugly muscle and that enormous, pretentious, hollow head to direct your tight, lame-ass fist down my warm, wet, well-spoken-for throat. You understand this point? If I get you right, without all your political support, you may actually fear me. No, I fear this. She gives him a karate flip. He lands on his back, looking up at her. Man peers over the desktop edge. Either sign the resignation form or find yourself in a position other than on your back. She lets go of him. Man sits. Notate that as a direct threat, Mr. Man. Threat? What threat? About the position. Don't worry yourself sick, Donald. Your position will be filled with a highly recommended applicant. Didn't you just hear what she said? She threatened me. Excuse me, Mr. Excuse me. Man pretends to adjust his hearing aid. Donald's uneasily stands. How is it that I can help you, Donalds? She said, never mind that. The pen, Donalds. Man holds a pen to Donalds. To sign the form, stick it up her tight twat. As Donald crosses to the door, he turns, asshole. Donalds exits with a slam. I only demand the respect I deserve. I do thank you for your understanding, Mr. Man. Simply complying with current law. I know you are. But I think you also may realize it's the right thing to do. Man clears his throat, adjusts his tie. As the lights fade out on the cafe, the lights fade fully up on Laura's condo. My little vape here. Mickey. Laura, just a second, Mickey. I'm with you on this. Been a year since that jerk. Laura enters. Been what, a month since the new one? Laura crosses to Mickey. 1 month and a day. Laura flops onto the couch. Just wondering if you forgot next week's cause. I have to make a speech, aren't I? I'll be there. Besides, I'm no manager for nothing. When I got word that the president of the Women League of Voters called you, I almost fainted. I have the perfect suit all picked out. Run him down. Raise the banner. Strengthen the voice. Never relent. Kick him where it counts. Something new? Laura nods. Deck him? Laura nods. I think it's something we can all agree to. She set him a perfect example. I started as a waitress, then became a captain, given supervisory responsibilities, occasional front desk receptionist, full-time manager, and never felt like I've been cheated. Maybe you'll become vice chair. You think so? You think I'll be asked? I'm counting on it. I can't be a waitress all my life, right? Right. No, you are right, but what if? What if what? Self-doubt? No, just something. I'm not so like you, I am, but we're practically sisters. Since that last summer. Remember Joe, Vinny's friend? I met him through you. Mickey places an arm around Laura. It's going to be all right. We all get the jitters. Central Park, Laura, floodlights, cameras, action. I understand. We understand. But we've our trust in you. We commend you. You've experience we can count on. Sometimes I'm not so sure. Name one right now. This here where? This worker, my worker, doesn't figure. What don't figure? Something about him. Laura crosses into the kitchen. More juice. I'll take one too. Maybe I'm wrong. You're usually right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you are too. What are we wrong about? Eddie, you're right. You're wrong. I can't wait to see him this weekend at work. Laura crosses to Mickey. He's no longer so insulting. Afraid I'll fire him. Laura hands the glass to Mickey. I'd never fire him. Don't tell him that. What's one more secret? Why did I hire him? Freshly squeezed, he was right. You said he. When I walked out of my office that day, Laura paces. The job interview? Laura nods, and I was about to shake his hand. I hesitated. You must take the plunge. I did shake his hand. Back to the hesitation. Why hesitate? I looked him in the eye. Good place to start and to stop. I dropped 2 linen plates of bread at work. I hate to ask what this means. He said I knew it when we shook hands. You're becoming undone. I dropped them on the floor. Not just one. Now let me guess. 2 plates? Am I? You're in trouble. You as a psychoanalyst may help. I'll call first thing tomorrow morning. I know I don't like it either. You're falling for this louse. I dreamt of this louse, this squirming, venomous snake. I heard the whistling of Laura, this low, creepy cockroach. It wasn't Eddie. You'll outlast this. It was Frankie Sinatra. At least you've still the taste. I don't want to fall in love. Not again so soon. I've so much to do with my life. This is my life. It's not right. Let's call Michael. He's only good for one thing. Let's call Michael. Mickey crosses to the phone. I get him to bring over a 12-pack. Mickey? Grrr. College jock. Mickey flips through the white pages. What, Laura? About my life. What about your life? Mickey finds the number. I've got it. Mickey dials the phone. Only a rebound. A symptom of the disease. You'll be over it soon, maybe on the second Michelob. Do you think? All this time. Interphone. Michael? Kevin. Fine. Is Michael there? No, Bruce. Michael. Harry. Michael. Lights begin to fade. Sean, Michael, please. Michael. Oh, Michael. Laura, it's Michael. The voice, his voice. Yes, Michael. She's right here. Laura, lights out. We hear Laura, who drops a glass. The glass shatters. End of scene 2. So, I'll read the next scene in a moment. Bye. This is a continuation of yours truly, a 2-act play. This is Act 1, Scene 3, setting, cafe at Rise a few nights later. As the lights fade up, we hear Frank Sinatra singing Night and Day into Strangers in the Night with Laura, as we see Eddie showing Laura to a table. Laura sits as Eddie sits. I'll consider this as business. Laura says, I'll consider this as business. Consider it well taken. At wristwatch. It's nearly 2:30 in the morning. Off tomorrow? It's only I couldn't talk with you at work. Wise move on your part. Mind if I open? Rather you would. Eddie holds up 2 fingers. What's that mean? You like a good red? Wine? Yeah, mostly. That's a sword in your eye. Joe serves the wine. Joe? Laura. How you? Okay. Good. Anything, Eddie. Thanks, Joe. As Joe exits, Eddie sips. Only the best. Come here often whenever I need to talk to someone special. I'm so special? So. You know, I break my ass on your floor for shit money. I'm following the head table. I'm following it. The whole room is doing whatever it wants to do. So I go up to the maitre d' and I say, should I follow the head table? And the maitre d' says, well, you don't really have to. So I say, anything goes. Later on in the night, you come up to me and pick a fight with me. I didn't pick a fight with you. Yes, you know, Laura, you have this thing in your head, like you call me a male chauvinist. You are a male chauvinist. I'm a male chauvinist because you walk around like you're God's gift to woman. You're Italian, right? I don't tell you what I am, who I am. I don't know you. Now look, you did good on the floor tonight. The maitre d's liked you. They thought you were horsing around the last few weeks, but tonight you somehow put a spin on it, and you did really well, okay? But I have a problem, Eddie, and I don't know what it is. There's something there, but I don't know what it is. You say you're from the union, then you say you're not. That is to all the workers, and I don't know what you want from me or from Oakwood Manor. See, Laura, the thing with you is you like to argue, you like to fight, and ain't my goddamn fault your love life's the shits. Your love life's shit right now, and it's not my fault. What do you mean my love life is shit? Laura, you ever see that movie Scarface with Al Pacino? No. There's a line in there Al Pacino says to Michelle Pfeiffer, as Tony Montana says, you got a look in your eye like you haven't been fucked for a year. Well, that's basically it, because you walk around with such a chip on your shoulder like you haven't been fucked in a year, and you're fucking everyone else, including me. Could you please curb some of your language? As far as my love life, you don't know. You won't know, because I'm going. Eddie places a hand over her hand. I'd really like to leave. Truth hurts? What do you know about truth? I know enough. You know how to play games. I'm not playing. She grabs her hand back. Sit down, Laura. Finish your drink. I'm glad we took my car. Goodbye. Laura crosses away to exit. Eddie snaps his finger, then points. Joe blocks Laura's way. I'd really like to leave. Please let me leave. Eddie crosses to Laura. She's with me, Joe. It's all right. She's a little lost. Eddie takes Laura by the upper arm. Come, Laura, back to the table. I'd really like to leave. This is no place to make our scene. When I get your ass home, then we will. Not here. I'm not going anywhere with you, jerk. Eddie attempts to escort Laura back to the table. Unless you act civilized about this, Laura. She takes her arm back. I'd like to leave now. We've business to further discuss. If I could, I'd fire you as of this minute. Then why don't you? Joe clears his throat. Because look where I'm at. I'm here with you, of all places. I'm here, standing before you. I must be crazy. In love. Eddie crosses back to the table. I am not in love with you. Your seat, Laura. To Joe, I am not in love with him. Is he crazy? Joe shrugs. He's crazy. Now I'm convinced he is crazy. Union, crazy. Excuse me, Laura. The chair. Laura crosses to Eddie. She stands by his side. You're crazy. Sit down. We'll discuss it. As Eddie pulls out the chair for Laura, Joe exits. Sit, please. Laura sits. Eddie sits. I don't like scenes like that. Not here. Why not here? No one's around. I'm asking you not to do this here. What is this? Some special club or something? Eddie picks up his glass. Toast to what? To your love for me. I am not. Quieter. I'm not in love with you. Yes, you are, but back to business. I can't stand you. What is it you can't stand? Your attitude, your look, your superiority, your lack of wit, your harassment, your insults, your pig-headed ideas, your taunt, your fixed ideas, just you in general. I'd like to hear what I like most about you. Spare me your disease. Disease? You're a disease I don't want to catch. Oh, a joke. Okay. After you're through with your lame remarks, I'd like you to escort me out of here. Your sense of humor, dry, very dry. I have a perfect sense of humor. I simply do not find you amusing. Any particular part? Rather, you disgust me. The thought of you in any other way then makes me want to vomit. Well, probably a symptom of the disease. What? Humor. Only a little humor. I don't like you on the floor or off. If I could, I'd fire you. Then why don't you? Because I'd never see. She turns away. He places a finger under her chin. She turns his way. It's okay, Laura. No, it's not. It's simply a little rusty. I've had enough to last me a lifetime. There's never enough. What I've seen, I've had enough. I think you're only just begun. How do you figure? Anyone can work at building a career. Only once do you fall suddenly in love. I'm really not in love. Shh. You spoil the moment. The moment I get out of here, the better off this relationship will be. Your humor is abrasive. It works best on the floor, not here around me. What's so special about the floor? I can't tell you. You must trust me. Trust someone I hardly know? You know me. And how is it that I've come to know you? Because I am you. You are? She laughs. That tops it. Tops who? What? It's a what. You meant a who. You said a what, but you meant a who. And which who do you have me in mind with? Humorous. I like that. Stop toying with me, Eddie. Joe enters. Joe signals Eddie. Couldn't it be Joe? Joe who? I don't know. Excuse me. Eddie stands. What? Eddie crosses to the board. Eddie takes the phone. I can't believe this. Yo, it's fine. Yes, she's here with me. I'll see you in 2 days. Full report, yes. It's working on schedule. Don't worry about her. I've got her signed, sealed, and delivered. Right in two. See you, Frankie. Eddie places down the phone to Joe. It's all under control. Easy. Eddie looks over at Laura. Yeah, easy. Eddie crosses to Laura. Joe exits. It's your turn to sit. Now look who's in love. Eddie sits. I was only kidding, like the last time. I'm to feel you out. Eddie? Afraid of the union getting in. You'll never get a union in there. How do you know? Because he won't let you. Who's he? Mario, my boss. Everything I say goes back to him. Laura says quietly, sincere, not everything. Let's go back to your place. It's 3 a.m. She looks at her wristwatch. It's 3 a.m. We can't hear. Can't what hear? Talk. Talk? Okay, argue. Eddie stands. I hardly touched my drink. Even better. What's the rush? There is no rush. Here's not the place. It's not. No, come on. Me to pay the tab? It's paid. It is? Damn you, Laura. I don't want to argue about this here. I don't mean to scare you. I just want to talk to you. Not here, okay? I just don't know what's so important to talk. What? I just don't know what's so important to want to talk about whatever you want to talk about there. I want to talk about us. Maybe I should finish this drink. Eddie throws her drink over his shoulder, then places glass on table. You're through. I can see that. Please, Laura, I don't want to make this out to appear anything that it is not. Are you a tempting gentleman? Your sense of humor is unsettling. Now, can we please get the hell out of here? It's not that you want to get into my pants now, is it? You could hear, maybe not as easily, but you could hear. Are we leaving or not? I guess we could. Good guess. Now let's go. Laura stands. Eddie, yes, Laura. This is still business, right? From all sides. Eddie follows her to the door. Joe enters. Eddie? Eddie and Laura stop before the door. Yeah, Joe. Anything you'd like for me to tell Frankie? Who's Frankie? No one. No, Joe. Laura and Eddie exit. As the lights fade out, Joe makes a phone call. Yeah, Paulie. It's Frankie there. Blackout. End of scene 3. And I'll put up the next scene momentarily. Bye. Of yours truly, a play in 2 acts. This is Act 1, Scene 4, setting, Laura's condo at Rise 1 hour later. As the lights fade up, we see Laura entering through the door. Eddie follows from behind. As she is about to close the door, he places a hand to prevent the door from closing. Eye to eye, Eddie kisses Laura several times. He picks her up in his arms, kicks the door closed. Eddie takes her into the parlor. He notices the bar. He crosses to the bar. He sets her down, eye to eye. He gives her a short kiss. Eddie says, I'll take a good red. She makes a drink as he paces. You live here alone? As of yesterday. Great Dane go astray? Mickey stayed a few nights. Little beautifully carved Mickey? You said red? I said red. Nice place. How much do you pull in as a waitress, captain, supervisor, receptionist, manager to live in a place like this? Enough. 60,000? Not 60,000. Laura hands him the drink. You should. You've a problem? I've always a problem. Laura sits on the couch, sipping. Eddie paces periodically, touching things. Girlfriend? Maybe. She's unsure? You're unsure. So who crapped on you? Some guy a while back? Last year. Still love him? I don't think so. You still do. How do you figure that? You won't let me in. You're here, in my condo. It's business. Your kiss didn't feel like business. At least it was felt. I feel things. Pretty bad showing. You don't know me. I could know you. Yes, you could. So where do we go from here? Wherever you had him with last year's news. I tried too hard. Tried who too hard? Myself. Yourself? For 6 years I tried to convince myself otherwise. Otherwise of what? It could work. You know that thing you said before? I say a lot of things. About fire between us. Fire between us? Oh, that thing. What about that? I hadn't any. Never? As far as the eye can remember. I've got to ask something of you. You do? It's part of the problem. How big a problem? No, Laura, that was part of the reference. You hired me. Yeah, I did hire you. You could hire anyone, right? Depends on past job performance, on the needs of the company. We're approaching Christmas season, correct? Yeah. She sets down her glass. You'll need help. We've temps. I know you do. So what's your point? What are you getting at? If my pals apply, you hire them. I hire them. I like for you to. For me. Hire the ones I send in. You bastard. You no good bastard. You want me to hire those you want in from the union? Why, don't do this, Eddie, in all this time. See, Laura, listen to your first instincts. What I tell you. You have this all wrong. No, Eddie, you've this all wrong. Laura crosses to Eddie. I hate you guys for this. Every time I try to make something right, I get screwed. I hate this world. This screwed up world I have to live in. And you, I knew it. She spars, paces at Eddie. I knew this was coming. I thought after, but you tell me before. You tell me before, you bastard. I love you, Laura. You love me, I love you. But you'll use me and you'll love me? You're full of shit. No, Laura. I walked into that house. I knew it was mine. Then you, I've been fighting for. I love you. But you must understand, try to understand. I have other problems, others involved. Yeah, I understand. I understand you want it both ways. Well, neither do you get me, but you won't get the union in. The union won't get in, but I care because I cared enough for those workers. But I also care about you. Not enough you don't. Gonna rat me out maybe? You won't do that. How do you figure I won't do that? Because you won't. I won't? You know it's right, Laura. It's my job. Is it your life? What makes your life your life? Money, power, influence, and the man in your life. I don't need a man in my life. The hell you don't. You're so miserable all the time. I enjoy my work. I work hard, Eddie. Very hard. I break ass. I run around that place like as if it was mine. It's not yours. Mario gives a shit about you. I don't care what Mario thinks. I care about what I can get out of it, and it suits me just fine. I answer to no one. I make my own hours. It's my house, front and back, my rules, and I don't care for someone like you to tell me how I can run my own affairs. You sorry. You could do 10 times better. You are 10 times better, and look what you got. Nothing. That's right, Laura. Nothing. I'd make you shop. That's right. Shop stewardess. You'd have a front and back, and if things go my way, I'll get you your own catering hall. Don't give me any more shit, Eddie. My own catering hall. Ha! Because once Mary is through with you, he'll just hire another and another and another. You're nothing without me. Without you, I'm nothing? That's right, baby, nothing. You want to be inspired like any other person. You need to be in love like any other person. Don't fool yourself into believing you can do it all alone, because you can't. No one can. I can do without men like you, Eddie. You think you're better? I know how the game is won. I have the power. I'll run you right out of that fucking house if I have to. I have the power. Not you, I do. Well, we'll see about that. Laura crosses to the door. We'll see about that, Mr. Tough Guy. She opens the door. I'm not through with you yet. Oh, yes, you are. I've still that other problem. You're big on problems. You're my other problem. I'd like you to leave, Eddie. I'm fucking in love with you. I never planned on that. You've never planned on this reaction either. Out. I was just to fuck your ass, lead you on, fuck you, be rid of you like all the others, get the union in, then move on to the next house, and here I am, like this, way with you. Eddie sits. I'm dead. Eventually, Laura closes the door. She crosses to the bar. She peers at Eddie. What do you mean, you're dead? I'm a frontman for the Brooklyn mob. Oh, fuck. If he knew what just took place here, I don't want to involve you. I have a feeling I'm involved. They won't touch you. How can you be so sure? I'm easier to dispose. I've no one, no family, friends, lovers. Eddie crosses to the bar. Eddie swigs from a wine bottle. You're really a mess outside your reference. Soon I'll be a bigger mess. I'm sorry, I have no right. No right to what? To ask you to hire. Forget it. Eddie flops back onto the couch. What exactly would you require? I said, forget it. A few waiters, waitresses, bartenders. Forget it. It's over. I'm over. Send them on Friday between 10 and 2. I'll put them on the floor Saturday. I'm fucked. No, Eddie. I am. Lights fade out. End of scene 4. And that's the end of that scene, and then I'll do another one. Bye. On with the play, yours truly. Play in 2 acts. This is Act 1, Scene 5, setting cafe at Rise following night. As the lights fade up, we hear Frank Sinatra singing The Last Dance into All or Nothing at All, into That's Life, into My Way on the jukebox. As we see Frankie enters from a back room, he crosses to the table where Eddie and Paulie are seated. Frankie signals Joe as Frankie takes a seat. Joe brings a round of shots. Joe exits. Frankie gulps down a couple of shots. Eddie has his face down. Please tell me it was good news. I spoke with Vico and Bezio. I'm pulling you from the job. Eddie sits up. You can't. I have. She's bringing whoever you want in. She'll hire him for Christ's sake, Frankie. It's what you want, right? It's what you want. Paulie here. He's in. You're going in place of me, Paulie? She'll hire me on Friday, right? Oh, shit. Eddie falls back in the chair. I have another thing I'm concerned about, very concerned. Should I put you in the big house? You can't take me from this job. I've worked them hard. I know them. I know how it all fits into place. I told you about this bimbo broad. I told you what I wanted from you, from her, right? Yeah, but did you follow through in my own way? I did. No, not your way, my way. Eddie sits up. Listen, I understand, Frankie. I never had in the past. This time I had to. You think so. I know so. Goddamn it, Frankie. I love this fucking bimbo broad. She's good for me. I can feel it. It's been a long time since I've felt this way about a girl, about anyone. I don't know why. You never do. Only that I do. Can't blame me for that. Paulie will take care of her. You will? Of course, pal. I'll treat her like my very own. I know how you'll treat her, and if I find that you laid Frankie places a hand on Eddie's shoulder, don't worry, Eddie. It's all taken care of. What he'll need is a full report on each department. You know what to do, won't you? I think so. Of course you do. You'll do well. You'll do very well. It's expected of you. It's unfortunate this had to occur. It makes it look a little bad. Makes me look a little like I don't know what I'm doing. It's not good for business. You understand, Eddie? Of course you do. We can't risk losing this contract again. It's the next step to the big house. We've planned on it for months. Of course you understand. I can't even see her. Never. It's over, Eddie. Maybe she'll come with me to the Marriott. We both can work it. She has heart, Frankie. She'll do good. No more, Eddie. But Frankie slams his fist down. No more. I've had enough. You won't fuck this up any more than it is. You won't see her. If you do, you'll have to face me alone. Is this understood? Fully understood? Let me talk with him. I'll work it out with him. Okay, Frankie? Yeah, good idea. Yeah, you do that. Hand me the report by noon tomorrow. Break it down as usual. You hear me, Eddie? Yeah, you better. Frankie gulps a shot. Think with your head next time. Frankie exits. Eddie, what? Call yourself lucky. How you figure I'm so lucky? Paulie gestures, pulling a trigger. Probably would have been better off. You best stay away. What's he going to do? Paulie gestures, pulling a trigger. He's serious. You never did this shit before. I never had reason. You love this girl? With my life. You fuck her? What do you think, wise guy? Probably not. How come all this? I couldn't bear laying a hand on her, ruin her like all the others. And so where do you go from here? I told you I'm going to marry her. You marry? I'll be dead by the time you marry. What? Just leave your hand off her. I don't care what you say to her, but one hand, just don't. Wear my Sunday best for the interview? Yeah, you do that, whatever, just don't. And if I do, I'm very serious about this, Paulie. I don't care what Frankie has in store for me, just don't. You're going to see her? I have my eyes set on the Marriott. Sure, I'm going to pour her from that house. She'll work beside me, like it should be, not without Frankie's. Okay, fuck Frankie, you're dead. You're right, I'm dead. Dead without her. No, I mean dead. Two kinds of dead, and Frankie's got the other kind. You don't know. You won't know it. Wait, you won't know it coming. Not if I get to him first. Music fades out. You are crazy, maybe. No, you are. This is bad shit. Can't get any worse. How do you suppose you'll take him out? Single-handedly? Maybe I'll hire you. You've always wondered how it'd be like. You ever see Joe kill? No, I did. Come right up behind him. Guy was sitting on a park bench talking, eating a sandwich. Didn't even see. Joe planted 2 silent bullets into his head, fled. Where were you? Right beside him, on the bench. I was told to talk with him over lunch. Never knew why. What'd you do? I sat there for a moment, his head in my lap, his eyes wide open to mine. Nothing. Died instantly, nothing. So what did you do? What could you do? I placed his head down on the bench and I walked off, never turning back. I'll never forget how quick life stopped. It's over too soon. Just clicked off. Maybe why you'll try a Joe. Just clicked off. But Frankie, he has eyes everywhere. Not if it's done right. You're a front man. You set up. You never took out. You're not even made. I made enough. You're talking crazy, Eddie. I don't want to hear about this anymore. Paulie finishes off the shots. Afraid of Frankie? Damn right I'm afraid. He orders hits. I like to live a little. You don't know what living is, and you do? It's out of fear we live. Fear. You call this life? Maybe a bit of life, but not life. If not him, then the government. You pay any taxes? It's not the point, Paulie. Then what is the point if it's not the point? I know it's something. Maybe we took wrong turns, made some bad choices, stupid mistakes, ran ourselves into the wrong crowd, showed off our names in certain circles. But we never fucked anyone who hadn't had it coming. If I give you my word on something, I never back out on it, except for now. I could have taken that house, with or without her. I know I couldn't fuck her. I fought the other stuff. I still am. Who cares? It's over. You heard Frankie. He's not my father. He's your boss. He's an asshole. He thinks muscle. No wonder why his wife left him. I know, Peter, but good. It's up here that counts. I work houses from up here. You know where he comes from? The old school, where my parents came from. Where blowing up buildings was made easy, or paying off the brass, or torching them to the ground, or you took a few owners out for a long ride. Not me. I walk into a house and take it over from within. He can't do that. He knows he'd like to do that, but he knows he can't. So he calls on people like us to do it for him. But I know I can do it regardless of who he thinks stands in the way. He don't know it, but I do, because all he knows is Joe and Bezio and Vico and his sword-swallowing crew. Characters like them. You like them, Paulie? What, with muscle? Yeah, you want to rub someone out? I've never been asked to. I'm asking you now. To rub someone out? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't given it any thought. If you could, would you? Not again with Frankie, is it? No, whoever. Don't have to be Frankie. Well, I don't know. Maybe it depends. On what? Who I'd be rubbing out. Maybe you rub me out. Me rub you out. Frankie's going to come to you someday. I can see it in his eye. You will? Yeah. And you're going to do it for him. I will? Yeah. You know why? No, because you're weak. I'm not weak, Eddie. Weak in spirit. No, and in mind. How you figure? He practically raised you. Took you in a long time ago, didn't he? When I was 7, he ordered your father killed, didn't he? That's what I hear sometimes. I hear it was disloyalty. You hear the same? Eddie eases back. If he gave you the job, you'll take it. It'll be the honorable thing to do, right, Polly? I guess. Frankie drove you into the streets. You ran errands for him, didn't you? How you know this? I never told you. It's my business to know. Besides, my father did the same thing to me. He did? I ran numbers at age 9. My father was a good man. He didn't want to play it Frankie's way. I know he killed my mother, too, even though I don't have enough proof. Then he took me in, but I guess you know all this, too. I'll tell you what I do know. As a kid, I had no one to turn to either. I believed in certain things I was told. Most of the time, I doubted. Probably what saved me this for. You've honor, I honor. It's all about self-respect in this business. It all depends on what we're honoring. It matters on what. Of course, Frankie thinks loyalty. He wants self-respect only for himself. To hell with the rest of us, how the shit works. But I never believe that crap. I'm worth more than the shit he sells us. Let me tell you something, Polly. This girl is a marching saint. Some would say she's a dumb Polish whack job, but I believe in her, for I know her. She expects much from from herself. I like to lighten her load. She deserves it, and so do I. I've had enough of the alone business. Maybe I like to do what my parents never did. Make something work the sure way, the right way. She gives me that. I need that. Understand, Polly? Not on a business basis. Anyone can work that. I'm talking about inside here. That I'm talking about. I never had that. Neither have you. It's about time I try my hand at it before it's too late. My time's come again, Polly. This is my last chance to make it work. It's the honorable thing to do. Right, Polly? If he asked me to rub someone out. If he asked you to rub me out, I don't know. He never asked me. He will. He will. How can you be so sure? Because I'm going to take the big house. He hasn't pulled you completely off that job yet. Yes, he has. He has. Sometimes you don't need things point blank. You just know. If you stay away from him, he knows. He knows the answer. He knows now. You think she's so with it? When you meet her on Friday, you'll understand. I really don't want anything to happen to you, Eddie. We're practically brothers. Nothing will. I hope you're right. I've wings. Besides, I'm counting on you. On me? On you. What do I have to do with it? Everything. Let me in on something. You know I do. You do. You're a good pal. I'm counting on you. Now I gotta go. I'll see you sometime next week. Eddie Stands. You can tell me how great she is. You're meeting Frankie here tomorrow, right? I'll be here too. Tell Frankie to have a good life. You're not going to show up tomorrow? What do you think? I really don't want to know. You'll be the first to know. See you, Polly. Eddie crosses to the door. Eddie? Polly crosses to Eddie. What? If you need a place, I know one. It's on Amsterdam, small but out of the way. I have a place. Where? You know where. Eddie kisses Polly on the cheek. You take care of yourself. You do the same. Eddie exits. Polly stares ahead as the lights fade out. End of Scene 5. End of Act 1. Intermission. And so on that, I will end this and then go to the second act. Bye. With the play Yours Truly, I play in 2 acts. This is Act 2, Scene 1, setting, Laura's condo at Rise. 1 week later, night. As the lights fade up, we see Laura entering the front door. Polly follows after her. Laura and Polly are drunk. Polly is all over Laura as she closes the door. She crosses into the parlor, tripping, staggering. Polly falls up against the wall. Polly, you are right. You are a sight to behold. You'll be our brightest sight in the morning. She falls onto the couch. A brighter sight in the morning? Where did you say you're from? New Jersey. New Jersey crosses to her. Rolling green, wide open, Route 80, New Jersey. Exit 39, straight up Diamond Spring Road, New Jersey. Ever spring a diamond? Have you? Where do you think I got that black Porsche? The slots? You're drunk. Polly swings around, landing in her lap. Anyone ever tell you that you're a tiger? Grrr. Yeah, well, you're not. I'm not? No, you're a penguin, and so am I. He takes off his tuxedo jacket. He flips off his shoes or attempts to back away. I think I could use a cup of Java. He places a hand on her wrist. No, let me look at you first. He was right. You are beautiful. Not voluptuous, but he folds face forward into her lap. Wake me when you are. Paul. That's Polly to you, Missy. Polly. She attempts to move him aside. Never mind. She eases herself away from him. She stands over him as he waves his hand about in the air. Laura, don't leave me alone. I need you. Can't you see how I am in desperate need of you? I need Java. She crosses into the kitchen, makes a cup. Polly, what? Voluptuous, beautiful? I don't want you to stay the night. You don't? How come? I have a morning party, 9 a.m. Just don't wake me. I'm serious. So am I. I'm a cat. In the night, he gestures, scratching. Polly opens one eye. Well, you always so what? Weird? Depends on who I'm with. I guess I'll consider that an indirect compliment. I realize you're in no condition to drive back to Brooklyn Heights. Right, Brooklyn Heights, but I can't have you stay over. Why not? Afraid you'll fall desperately, passionately in love with someone you hardly gave a thought to a day ago? I'm not afraid. Only of yourself. What makes you think this is so? I've been watching you. You have all night. I'm a specimen, am I? Not exactly. He sits up. You must watch out. Out for what? Out for men like myself. Is that a problem? I'm not out to hurt you, Laura. Let's have a little fun. That's all. Nothing too wrong with that, is there? I'm afraid I'm looking at it differently. Seriously romantic, sort of more seriously trustworthy. You don't trust me? Sorry, you're an orphan. That your rich Aunt Gertrude threw you out at age 16, had to raise you two little sisters yourself. I too know what it's like to not have anyone. I lost my marriage last year. Never knew you were married. Not in the report. Report? Forget that. So what happened? That's funny. Couple pages that are blank. Sorry about that. He never made me matter. He held me down. He was one of those male chauvinists you always hear about. Any kids, too. They're with their father for the summer. Sorry about this. About what? My tragedies. Maybe you're right. I need a little fun. Get away. I'll go with you. No, I mean myself. Alone. Away. How can you have fun just with yourself? I'm pretty creative. I'll find a way. Look, Polly, you seem like a nice guy. A drunk nice guy, thanks. Who I could probably have lots of fun with. But, look, you must have scores of women. I'm not looking to be another point. I don't mean to hurt you. I have things I like to do with my life. I matter, too. I'm not looking for a sack full of commitment, just a little fun, a little joy along the way. Last time I had a little fun along the way, I gave birth to a little joy. You married because you got pregnant? No, I got married because I was having too much fun for my own good, and that backfired as usual. This time around, I want to make something for me, no one else. I want to make it on my own without anyone's help, and I can do it. I just need to be left alone. Too bad. No, it's not, Polly. No, it's not. Not for me. Laura peers out of the sliding door. She opens the door. The surf blows through her hair. Somewhere out there is a place for someone like me. Polly crosses to her. If I take my time, I'll come across her. Polly comes up behind her. It's all a matter of waiting. Polly kisses her neck, etc., but she is too lost in thought. You're beautiful, but I can't if I'm being pulled some other way, sexy. I've chosen this way, my way, sultry. I've to make a name for myself. No one else can do it for me. Seductive. My father always said, the world is yours, provocative. He said, now go take your first step. See the world, erotic. Look how far I've gone so far, helpless. This is my time to make it my way. Polly continues, kissing. Turn around. I will make my mark on the future. Look at me, Laura. It's my life. Polly turns her around. Polly and Laura kiss. We hear the front door being keyed open. I love you. No, you don't. Still kissing. I want you, Laura. I gotta have you. You're mine. No, still kissing. Yes, you are. You need me. You will always be mine. I can't be. I knew it the moment I shook your hand. No, still kissing. No, I don't. No, I don't. The front door opens. Eddie enters. In the morning, you'll see I'm right. Please, Polly. Still kissing. Eddie crosses into the parlor. We'll make bells ring. Eddie spots Laura and Polly. We'll make it happen. As Polly continues kissing Laura, she spots Eddie. Eddie. Polly stops kissing. Polly turns to Eddie. Eddie wants to leave, but remains still. Laura says to herself, Eddie. Oh, 1 second here. Let me just take that out there. What you doing here? What's this, Laura? Polly, this is... I know who he is. You do? I know how he is. How? I don't understand. You know him from where? The old school. The old school? You went to school together? Yeah. Laura crosses into the parlor. Take a vape real quick. I'm making Java. Want a cup? Laura crosses into the kitchen, makes do. I wondered where you've been to. It's been over a week. You never showed up for work tonight. I booked you. How come? I have business elsewhere. Eddie and Polly are still eye to eye. Where, Eddie? Someplace. I'll take a cup. Okay, it's my special mix. So you won't be working Oakwood Manor anymore? I hired your applicants. Polly's one of the waiters you sent me. It's working like clockwork, just like you planned, Eddie. Friends? Right. So let's sit. Talk about the old days. There's nothing to talk about, right, Polly? We can find something to talk about. Let's see. Shut up. What? You heard me, Laura. What? What's this, Laura? What's what? This. He asked me out for a drink. We played quarters. I think I lost. Keep talking. So he drove me back here. I couldn't drive, so what else? What else what? What else? Well, Laura crosses into the parlor. You don't owe him an explanation. The hell she don't. Don't be such a sorry ass. You got nothing with her. She'd have slept with me without my twisting her arm. Fuck you. Right, fuck me. Fuck you. She don't love you, Eddie. You couldn't give her anything more than I could. What's this all about? You know each other? She don't want you. She's too into herself. And I guess you want to set her free? You know what I want. Excuse me. Hey, guys. Hello. I don't know. Shut the fuck up, Laura. Just shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me like that. I'll talk to you any way I like. Not in my condo, you won't. As Laura crosses to the front door, Eddie grabs her by the shirt. Let me go, you creep. Let her go, Eddie. What are you going to do about it? Like you really care. Just let her go. She pulls away from Eddie. You want to get fucked, Laura? I want you to leave. I said, do you want to get fucked? What do you think, asshole? You keep this shit up with me. You will. How can you be so sure? You think I'd allow that to happen? You don't even know me. You have no faith in me. The kettle goes off. As she crosses into the kitchen, she pushes Eddie out of the way. God damn you, I love you, Laura. You can't do this. Not to me, you can't. I won't allow it. I did you that favor. I could have that night. That night what? She prepares a coffee. Did to you what he will do to you tonight if I leave here, and what is this? Fuck me? You know I won't let that happen. Tell her, Polly. Tell her what? Tell her. As she sets out the cups on the kitchen counter with stools, Eddie crosses to Polly. I want you to tell her. Polly moves away from Eddie as Eddie tries to grab his shirt. Get the hell out of here. I want you to tell her the truth. What truth? That you're one pitiful son of a bitch? Eddie grabs Polly by the arm, shoving Polly into the parlor. Polly lands on the floor. Tell her, you are such an... Laura helps Polly up. This is my home, Eddie. You want to fight? Take it outside. I want you to tell her. Eddie crosses before Polly. Will you leave him alone? Not until he tells you. Tells me what? That you are one stubborn son of a bitch? Tells you how much love he's got in store for you. He's not like you. He's not in love. Crazy in love with me. Right, Polly? Yeah. He was just leaving. The hell he was. You don't know how to have fun. And you do this? You do with this jerk? I was attempting to until you had to interrupt. No, Laura, I didn't have to. I wanted to. Yeah, whatever. You're going to tell her, Polly? Should I? Tell me what? Tell you about his application. I know about his application. Quite impressive. As far as I'm concerned, Laura crosses to the counter, sits. The best in his field. He should be made captain. He is far superior to being a waiter. Actually, if I had my choice, I'd make him manager. She sits. She stirs her coffee. Used to work as a temp. O'Connor's temporary. She sips. Good one. Frankie, nice setup. Eddie crosses to the counter. Manager. Work it deep from within. Real nice setup. What do you mean setup? Polly forget to tell you? All right, Eddie. Must forget on account of all the fun you's two been having. What do you want, Eddie? Nothing much. Gotta be something, always is. Mine? Laura nods as Eddie stirs his coffee. To Polly. What's going on here? How is it you know him? All yours, Polly, or should I? Should you what? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Don't, Eddie. Don't what, Polly? Open my mouth more than I should if you know what's good for you. What's good for me? Eddie places an arm around Laura. Laura somewhat flinches. I think we all know what's good for me. Laura squirms loose. Not so fast, Eddie. I'm usually the one who moves slow. How is it that you move, Polly? Just have your Java. Eddie sips. Good, too. Thanks. Gonna have yours? Polly crosses to his coffee. Yeah, think I will. Polly stirs his coffee. Hey, Polly. As Polly lifts his coffee to his lips, Eddie tosses his coffee into Polly's face. Motherfucker, not in my kitchen. Polly lunges for Eddie. Not in my condo, you son of a bitch. Polly brings Eddie to the floor, fighting. You're dead, you bastard. Stop this. Laura tries to intervene. Eddie, what did I tell you? Who gives a shit, you rat bastard? You think I care? Polly throws Eddie up and over the counter. Please stop this. Laura crosses to the sliding door, closes it. I can't have this here. I can't. I really can't. She crosses to the phone. You're dead. You hear me? I hear you. Laura picks up the receiver. I'll call him if you don't stop. Eddie, I'm going to run your face into the ground. Eddie punches Polly in the jaw. Try for it again. Laura dials as Eddie slugs Polly in the face. See me wince? Eddie hits Polly so hard that Polly falls back into an array of cactus plants. Eddie spots Laura. Put the phone down, Laura. No need to make it uglier than it already is. Eddie crosses to Laura. At times, Polly makes hurtful sounds. I said. Eddie puts the phone receiver down. You've more to learn than you think. Laura grabs a towel. She wets the towel. She applies it to his forehead. No more, Eddie. No more what? No more of this. No more. You hear me? I can't stand it. My ex, when he got mad, would slap me. I don't know. I can't. Every time you step into my life, She crosses to the couch. Something happens. I like a little peace and quiet like it was. She sits. I can't any longer. You can't what any longer? You don't know? Polly gets himself out of the cactus patch. All I know is I care about you. That's all I know. Polly falls onto all fours. Eddie throws the towel over Polly's face as Polly grabs off the towel. I thought you don't believe in physical violence. I don't. Could have fooled me. Polly falls to his side. I've been storing it away for a rainy day. No shit. Laura, what? Polly's working you like I was to... What? Polly's working you like I was to have. Applicant, not managerial material? I bet his application was faxed. How do you know? Just trust me, I know. Oh, no. Eddie crosses to her. No, please. Eddie kneels before her. Laura, leave me alone. No, Laura. Eddie tries to touch her. She moves away. Leave me be. I'm not the enemy. I love you. No, you don't. Games, always playing games like all the rest. Little boys in men costumes. I wasn't in on this one. How do I know this? You gotta trust me. Trust you. With all this here, trust you? What do you take me for? Think I'm that crazy, that vulnerable, that easy? No, Laura, none of the above. Don't you see what you're doing? Yes. And you don't care, do you? No. What am I to do with you? Stop fighting. But I'm not fighting you. Eddie sits by Laura. You're no good for me. Simply a symptom. Yeah. I'm to throw all this away for you? It's time to grow up, Laura. Let go. It's over. Her face falls into his shoulder. He caresses her. Things will be fine, I promise you. I've had promises broken before. He lifts her face to his. Who do you see? I'm not them. Anyone you've known. Have I ever broken a promise to you? No, not yet. You've my word. I've your word. My word's good around here, right, Polly? He'd tell you if he could. I've a feeling I don't want to know. You must believe in me, Laura. You're all that matters to me. Nothing or no one will ever break us apart. Eddie holds Laura's face up to his. I love you. As he kisses her, the lights fade out. End of scene 1. It's about 25 pages left. I'll be back with the next scene. Bye. And continue on with the play Yours Truly, 2-play act, a play in 2 acts. Excuse me. This is Act 2, Scene 2, setting, Laura's condo at rise following morning. As the lights fade up, we see Laura and Eddie on the couch, nude under the covers. The alarm clock goes off. Laura grabs the clock, shuts it off. As she turns to Eddie, he opens his eyes. Eddie, good morning. She kisses him. Good morning to you too. She peeks under the covers. And very good morning to you too. He goes under the covers. Eddie and Laura fool around under the covers. Ad lib. Doorbell rings. Eddie's head pops up. 7 in the morning? Who could it be so early in the morning? Laura's head pops up. The mob's found you. Don't be funny about that. You said yourself, I heard you, on your second shoot. I'm serious, Laura. Doorbell rings. Want me to answer it? No, I will. Good idea. She ducks under the covers. Doorbell rings. Gonna go get it? My last kiss, please. She quickly kisses him, then hides. Eddie slips on his underwear. He looks to Laura. Okay. As he starts off toward the door, she peeks out. Like that? I don't think he'll be too surprised to see me in my underwear. Such buns. Shh. As Eddie approaches the door, Laura hides. Eddie picks up an umbrella from a rack. He holds the umbrella above his head as a sword. He places his hand on the doorknob. The doorbell rings, nearly scaring him half to death. Here we go. On 2. 1. Point. Before Eddie says on 2, he swings open the door. He is ready to jab the umbrella, but Mickey, Eddie, is Laura home? Mickey spots the umbrella. Is it raining? Mickey sticks head out the door. Then, psych, Mickey enters. So where's the lady of the house? By the way, I dig your drawers. Mickey crosses into the parlor. Laura peeks out. Over here. Where's over here? Mickey spots Laura. Oh, over here. Mickey looks around as Eddie closes the door. You look wonderful, Laura. Married? No. How are you this morning? Probably not as good as yourself, but who's counting? Just make yourself at home. Eddie crosses into the parlor. Like usual, Laura eyes Eddie to cover up. Right. He crosses to the pants. Mickey lifts the covers. Peek-a-boo, anyone else home? It's just us, Mickey. Isn't that just too bad? To Eddie, need any help, big stuff? Come on, Mickey. I sometimes clean up around here. You know that. To Eddie, she knows that, don't you, Laura? To Eddie, Labor Day weekend. Unfortunately, no drawers or guys. That's too bad. I mean, for you, that is. You think I'm so helpless? No, I just meant... So, Laura, do I drive or you? Oh, crap, that's right. My car is still at the... Laura warms herself over to the phone in the blanket. I knew I forgot something. You drive a beat-up Lincoln Town car, don't you? Well, it's not really beat up. It's not outside, and her car is not. Something pretty fishy going on around here. Mickey looks around as Laura picks up the phone book, flips through the pages as Eddie crosses to the refrigerator. I heard your speech on the radio yesterday afternoon, Laura. You do still remember your pledge. Mickey quickly opens a closet door. Don't you? Found it. Laura dials the phone. No offense to you, Eddie. No offense taken to whatever. We must be very careful these days. You do understand, don't you? Oh, of course. A lot of creeps out there. Mickey studies Eddie. We have to be cautious. Diseases and the like. See, I'll never settle down. Why should I? No one's answering. Laura places down the phone receiver as Eddie pours a glass of orange juice. I'll take one. Me as well. Let the guy bring his own skins. Why should I solely have the responsibilities? It's just because I have a gold mine. Just because I have a gold mine between my legs, don't mean I must put up with his shit. You know, Mickey. You got to make your mark. Draw the line. Stick a pole in the ground that states stop. No more. You over there. I'm over here. When you get to learn what a woman truly is, then you could walk across a school crossing. Must I always be the mother? The creeps that are out there, every day and night, more and more creeps. Who are their mothers? This is what I like to know. What breeding ground were they raised on? Mickey, I'm not lonesome. There are just no men to please this kind of woman. I'm me. I don't bow down to any man. I'm simply me. You got that? He don't like it. He knows where he can go. Laura places her arm in Eddie's arm. Don't mind her. She's strung out. I am not strung out on Michael. Did I say Michael or any guy? I learned a long time ago as I was growing up that I've got goods that guys want. You can string him along all you like. You can play him all you like. He don't know it. He don't know because he's too busy trying to please his you-know-what. Sure, there are guys who are special like Vinny and Michael, but that's 2 out of a zillion guys. Just think of the odds. Because like Laura said in her speech yesterday, I'll build my own damn skyscrapers, my own damn buildings, bridges, and tunnels. I am a woman, a proud, deserving woman. I will not listen to those puny, sniffling, gimme all you got jerks. That's not me. It's just simply not me. As Mickey crosses in front of Eddie, "You're OJ. That rotten, stinking, low-down bastard." "Oh, my OJ." Mickey takes the glass. She snips the juice. Freshly squeezed? Freshly squeezed. Mickey swigs down the juice. "So is this a passing thing, or has he dug his claws into your back as far as he could go?" Laura crosses, exits into the offstage bathroom. Not exactly the answer I was looking for. Eddie snickers. "Don't make another sound, you dribbling idiot. I'm trying to save this woman." Mickey crosses to the bathroom door. "Laura, I'll be out in a few. I want you to go back over the airways and use this episode as a personal triumph over man's will. No such doings. I've lost her." To Eddie. "To you. To Laura. Laura, now you listen to me. Listening. I've put valuable time into our relationship. I don't want to see you get all turned around by some guy you'll hardly know. You don't know him, right? So-so. So-so is no-no in my book. We can't have this upset things. We must move forward, united. You said it yourself, Laura. United or divided, we perish. I believe in your words." Eddie sits. "You've enough by personal example to shut them down, shut them up, and shut them in. Laura, listen. Good, because now I'll need your full attention, fully attentive. Good, real good. Vinny's asked me to marry him." "Laura?" Laura opens the door. She peers in a robe. "What about Michael? What about Michael? Aren't you hot for him?" Laura crosses over to the counter. Mickey follows. "He wants to be a cop, like his father, like my father. That's an honorable profession, don't you think?" Laura places her arms around Eddie from the back. "How you doing?" "Okay." "Laura?" "What?" "I don't want to marry him. I've no use for marriage. Both my parents divorced in my senior year of high school. Why should I repeat their same mistakes? I abhor the entire institution, so tell him that. You ever see Vinny when he cries? I'll break his heart. I don't want to break his heart. He's got such a good heart. He wants to fight crime, child molesters, stalkers, rapists." "So what do you want me to do?" "Do what you think is best. I thought you'd give me a fight. You always do. No fight." "No fight. Because of him. What's so special about him anyway?" Mickey studies Eddie. "I don't see what's so great. A bit small as far as I can tell." Mickey's still studying. "Mickey, either marry him or forget it. It's forgotten. I drive or you drive. You can drive. We best get going." Laura kisses Eddie. "I'll be right back." Laura crosses, exits into a offstage bedroom. Can't be that great. As Laura crosses from bedroom to bathroom. "It is, Mickey. You should give it a try." Laura exits. Mickey crosses to the counter, props her elbows on the counter. She stares at him. "May I help you?" "Not really, just looking." "Looking? Good. What's it you reading?" "An article on jock itch." Mickey reads along, then, "Does it really burn that bad?" "Sometimes." Lights begin to fade out. "I remember once I had a case of vaginal yeast. That really burned." "I worked with you once, right? A long while back. You probably forgot about it by now." "Yeah." Blackout. End of scene 2. And then I'll be back with another scene. Bye. Play yours truly. I play in 2 acts. And this is Act 2, Scene 3. Setting, cafe at Rise, night. As the lights fade up, we see Polly and Frankie seated around the table. Joe crosses, enters from behind the bar. Joe serves Frankie and Polly drinks. Frankie. Joe, "Yes, Frankie. Sit, I want you to hear this." Joe sits. "Here, have one of my drinks." "Okay, Frankie." "You've done good work for me over the years, haven't you, Joe?" "For you, only the best. Polly here, well, he's been telling me things. I know, Frankie. I don't like it either. Crazy, ask me. Getting all mixed up with that broad. It's not anything personal, you realize." "Sure I do, Frankie. Sure I do." Frankie holds up a shot glass. Polly and Joe hold up shot glasses. "Salute, salute, salute." Frankie gulps down, then Joe and Polly gulp. "I've got a job for all 3 of us. You in, Joe?" "You name the place." "Polly here'll tell you about it, right, Polly?" "Right. He's a good boy. A little edgy, but nevertheless a good boy. I raised him like my own. I've 2 boys of my own, you know, Frankie Jr. and Petey." "Yeah, I know. I see him sometimes at the gym." "Good, so you know. We lost the house. Bezier Brothers and Vico. I can't tell you what this does to a person. I'm shaking just thinking about it. I'll kill that prick motherfucker Eddie. Frankie slams his fist on the table. Glasses fly everywhere. He's had it. He's had it in his head all this time. I know that kind. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he can do better. He can't do better than me. That prick motherfucker. What's he got now? What's that little snake have now? Without me, he's dead. I'll cut him into little pieces. I'll rip his insides out with my bare hands. Motherfucker fucked me. He's dead. You two get me to him. I'll know what to do after. He lives with that bimbo broad. I want the two of them together. Why her? Because I'm going to do to her what he thinks he done did to me. It may get messy. Maybe she knows someone. Him, it's easy. He ain't got anyone. But her, I don't know. It could mean trouble. That's why you two do a little checking subtly. Nothing too fancy or too quick. What's the rush? There's no rush. Good, Joe. No rush. Polly, yeah. Any rush? No, of course not. Of course not. Good then. We're in agreement. It's good when we are. It's so simple this way. Don't you think, fellas? My father always said, all my life, quiet. We must remain quiet. That's a problem with the families in the last 20 years. Too much in the face of the media. Provocation, exposure. We don't need that. We work best, quietly in the background. Been like that for ages. Just ask the Pope. I raised you the right way, Paulie, didn't I? To know the difference. You won't let me down, will you? I won't let you down. Good. Get us another round of drinks, Joe. Joe stands. And take your time. I want to speak with Paulie, okay? Anything to say, Frankie. Joe exits. I know it wasn't your fault she ratted us out. He turned on us too. Probably as big a rat as his father. Hear about his father? Paulie nods no. Found him on ice because he couldn't do the job. It was such a little job. What's a bit of torch? You just turn the dial and poof. He didn't have it in him. He got soft. I see a lot of guys get soft. It's not good for business. Joe enters. Joe reflects. Joe exits. I feel like I can count on you. I feel like you know what it takes to take something of this sort. He fucked you too. He don't care. Guys like that never last long. Guys like that wind up crawling on their hands and knees begging for forgiveness. Do I give him the forgiveness? Frankie spits on the floor. I give him that. I give him guys like Joe and yourself to straighten matters out. But this guy Eddie, he won't beg for forgiveness. He's got too much pride, too much to prove. He wants it all. He wants to be boss. Well, I haven't been boss. He's nothing. He thinks too much. He thinks I don't think at all. I've had him pegged since I had my eyes on him. I knew his father. He never changed. You can't change. So what do you do about these kind? You give them what they're after. He wants trouble? I'll give him trouble, but on my own terms. But on my terms. Because I won't let a slivering little snake crawl into my life and suck the blood out. Frankie grasps a shot glass. I don't need this kind of snake in my life, and neither do you. This guy's going straight to hell. The glass shatters in his hand. One way, my way. Frankie, your hand. Yeah, my hand. Frankie reaches into his jacket. He retrieves a revolver. He places the revolver on the table. Take it, it's yours. Mine? You get the girl. You wanted her, right? Yeah. I don't care how you do it, just do it. Frankie wraps Paulie's hand around the gun. Get a feel for it. It's a part of you. Go on, Paulie. Paulie picks up the revolver. Your father's gun. He never got to use it. I had no choice at the time. It was either him or I to take it. He hesitated, and I acted. That's all it takes. I kept his gun thinking maybe someday you'll get to use it. Prove to me that you're a better man, that you understand what must be done in the name of honor, loyalty, and trust. It's an extension of your gratitude for having belonged to such a bloodline as ours. Not many men are made. After this move on your part, I will restore your family name in your late father's interest, because even though it was either me or him, I still respect the honor. So I give you the honor now. After it's done, I will call for a sit-down and will make you. I promise that no one will ever tarnish your name again. You will be respected by all the families. I'm sure you can understand, Paulie. Joe, I hear you, Frankie. What's keeping them drinks? Coming right now, Frankie. As the lights fade out, Joe enters, crosses to the table with a round of drinks. Blackout. End of scene 3. And then I'll do the last scene in a moment. Bye. Yours truly. I play in 2 acts. At the last scene here, Act 2, Scene 4, setting, Laura's condo, at Rise, 2 weeks later, night. As the lights fade up, we see Laura and Eddie lying on the parlor floor. Eddie is feeding her strawberries. Also, we see two shadows, Polly and Joe, run quickly past the curtained sliding glass doors. We hear Dean Martin singing, That's Amore. Laura, I want a large backyard. I told you anything after the marriage. You really have your mind set on that. I care about workers. We can do it together. I know another local, legit other local. Tell me again in my ear what the settlement was. He kisses her as he whispers, 600,000, all because of that body cast 2 years ago. He feeds her. I don't know about that. Well, what don't you know? You laid up in a body cast for 1 full year 2 years ago. You really didn't fall from that city scaffold. You're making that up. I did roofing years ago. You're right. And I'm pregnant. Oops. Oops, where? What do you think? A knock on the door. If that's who I think it is, every night she's been coming around here. Don't she have a life of her own? We'll talk about diaper rash when we'll talk about diaper rash. I'll get rid of her. I want you back pronto. He kisses her. I'll be right back to where we left off. He stands. Oops. He crosses to the front door. Laura says to herself, shit. Eddie stands before the door. He opens the door. Joel sticks the gun into Eddie's ribcage. One move, you're dead. Joel moves Eddie ahead. Polly enters. Eddie. Not a word. Laura says, Eddie. Joe says, not a word. Frankie enters. Polly closes the door. Frankie gestures for Joe and Eddie to move into the parlor. Polly follows last. As Eddie, Joe, Frankie, and Polly cross into the parlor, Laura turns in Eddie's direction. Frankie comes around Eddie and Joe as Laura pulls the covers over Laura. Frankie crosses over to Laura. Frankie pulls the covers off Laura. She is only in underwear. Frankie, you're bimbo broad, Eddie? Not her, Frankie. You want me, you take me, not her. Frankie crosses over Laura. Frankie paces. I guess you know how come we're here. Frankie reaches down under the bar counter. Things got a little messy since you've been around to the club. We wondered what happened to you. Frankie brings out a bottle of bourbon. I've had my ideas. Frankie finds a glass. Pretty good. Prefer a good scotch, but this'll do. Frankie fixes a drink. So we thought we pay you a visit. Frankie gulps the shot. Not too bad. Frankie gets another glass. Join me, Eddie. Joe shoves the gun into Eddie's back. Eddie crosses to the bar. Let's bring back some of the old days. Frankie places a glass out. Bourbon? Eddie stands before the bar. I guess you said yes. Frankie fixes Eddie's drink. Remember the old days, Eddie. Frankie moves the glass closer to Eddie. Drink. Joe puts the gun deeper into Eddie's back. Eddie picks up the glass. Eddie places the drink to his lips. Frankie eyes Joe, who in turn shoves Eddie forward. The drink goes flying as Frankie grabs Eddie by the face. You want to play rough? You want to play rough? You want to play rough? Frankie grabs Eddie's face tighter, then shoves Eddie to the floor. You never fucked me, never. Frankie comes around the bar. Frankie crosses to Eddie. Laura says, Eddie, shut that whore up, Polly. Polly crosses to Laura. Polly shows Laura he has a revolver in his pocket, therefore to keep quiet. Instead, Laura says, no, Eddie, no. As Laura is about to run over to Eddie, Polly grabs her by the hair. Eddie says, you fucking lame son of a bitch. Frankie kicks Eddie in the gut. Laura is pulled down beside Polly's side. Polly says, if you keep still. Polly catches Frankie's eye. Frankie, bring her over here, Polly. Polly brings Laura over to Frankie. This your girl, Eddie? Laura stands by Frankie with Polly holding her in place. Frankie kisses Laura. Eddie struggles to get to Laura, but Joel holds Eddie back. Frankie shoves Laura. She falls on the couch. Frankie turns to Polly. Waste her. Eddie struggles free from Joe. Eddie tackles Frankie. Frankie falls to the floor. You're dead, you fuck. Eddie shoves Frankie's face against the floor. Frankie throws Eddie to the side. You greedy bastard. Frankie crawls up to a standing position. Who do you think you are? As Frankie turns around toward Eddie, he withdraws a gun. I'm not like one of your pals. You think I am. You think I'm like Polly or Joe here? I'm better than all of you fucks. I made you who you are today. Without someone like me, you'd be rotting in the gutter. You all need me. Who else you have? No one. I made your dreams come true. Me, Frankie Giuseppe Capellini. I own Brooklyn, not you. I work Brooklyn, not you. I took all of Manhattan, not you. I own Jersey City, not you. I own Staten Island, not you. I own you all. Frankie brings his gun down toward Eddie. You hear me, you cheap scumbag? You fuck me, not you. Wait. You hear me, you cheap scumbag? You fuck me, not you, me. Eddie tries to move away, but Joe holds Eddie down with a foot on Eddie's neck. Frankie moves the gun close to Eddie's face. Not you. Closer, me. Frankie presses the gun barrel onto Eddie's face. Not you. Gun is cocked. Me. Instantly, Paulie shoots Frankie repeatedly in the back. As Frankie staggers backward all around, Frankie pulls the trigger once, hitting Paulie in the chest. Paulie falls back through the sliding glass doors. Frankie dies. Paulie! Joe lets Eddie run over to Paulie. Paulie, you dumb son of a bitch, don't you die on me. Eddie cradles Paulie. God damn you, Paulie, hang on to Joe. Call the fucking ambulance. But Eddie, with all this, call the fucking ambulance. Joe crosses to the phone. Laurie remains in absolute shock. Paulie, you hang in there, you hear me? Paulie reaches out to Eddie's face, touches him. Eddie, I'm here, Paulie. I'm right here. Can you do something for me? Anything, you name it. Consider it done. Take good care of her. She loves you. She may not tell you, but she does. I know it. You got it. Eddie, what, Paulie? Speak to me. Paulie, goddamn you, Paulie, don't you leave me. I tried to do good. I know you did. I know. I tried to do good for you because I love you, Eddie. You're my pal. I'm sure going to miss you. I'll be here for you always, Paulie. You can count on it. Eddie, what, Paulie? Do me a favor. Anything. It's yours. Give me back my name. I'll be sure word gets out. Your father would be proud of you. I know, Eddie. I know. Paula dies. Paulie. Eddie rocks Paulie. Paulie, wake up, Paulie. Please wake up, Paulie. Joe places the phone receiver down. Please, Paulie, for me. Joe crosses to Eddie. Please. He's gone, Eddie. He can't be. He's dead. We still had the next job to pull. He's dead. Eddie grips onto Joe's pants legs. You've got someone else now, Eddie. Got to forget about what you had. You got to go with what you have. But it's not right. Nothing is. You could have done anything you wanted. I know, Paulie. He was the best. Come on, Eddie. You got to forget about him. You got to forget about him now. Joe lifts Eddie up. I'll take care of Paulie and Frankie. Why so? Who else do I have to visit my club? So you get your head right and stop by, okay? Eddie looks over at Laura. Okay. She's yours now. Eddie places a hand on Joe's shoulder as a friendly pat and support as Eddie crosses to Laura. Joe starts to clean up. Eddie sits by Laura. Eddie caresses her hair. Laura turns to Eddie. My God. Eddie's face falls into her bosom. My baby. She caresses his head. I want us to leave here. We will. No, now. Now. I don't want to argue. No, let's not argue. I mean it. I want to leave now. Okay. He grabs her clothes. He grabs his clothes. Eddie dresses as he helps her dress. Where are we going? New Jersey. New Jersey at a time like this is nearly 1 a.m. My sister let us have her place. I just need to get out of here. Please, Eddie, I need to leave. Okay, we'll leave. We'll leave now. Joe drags Frankie next to Paulie. Joe. Yeah, Eddie. Not next to Paulie. Right, Eddie. Joe situates Frankie away from Paulie. Ready? Yeah. Joe. I'll be fine, Eddie. It'll look brand new, as if you don't know a thing. Try to give Paulie a proper burial if you can. I'll take care of it. Don't worry, you hear? Thanks, Joe. Eddie takes Laura by the hand. Have everything? Laura peers around. She spots Frankie. Yeah, I have everything. Eddie crosses to the front door, holding Laura by the hand. As Eddie opens the door, the lights begin to fade out as Eddie drags Frankie out onto the beachfront past the sliding glass doors. Joe closes the sliding glass door, straightens the curtains. Eddie looks away from Joe as Eddie closes the door behind Laura and himself. Blackout. End of scene 4. End of act 2. End of play. Wow. Okay. So really what that's about, yours truly, is really about trust. That's all. It's about loyalty and trust. That's really the essence of the entire play. Like in The Mob, you have trust, loyalty to one another. In love relationships, you have trust and loyalty to one another. And that's really what the entire play was all about. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, have a good one. Bye.